Hello everybody and welcome back to Be Joy in the Kitchen. I'm Be Joy and this is my kitchen. And I'm buttoning up my jacket here just in case you couldn't see that. Anyway, welcome back. And what we're going to do today is a winter chili. Now, why? Because it's the winter. It's freezing here in Arizona. It was in the 30s this morning. And the other reason being is that tomorrow night at our synagogue, we're having a brisket cook-off, and you go, BJ, Be Joy, brisket cook-off? What's that about? So what happened was a few people spoke up and said, hey, what about the plant eaters? And so they added a plant-based entree to the cook-off. So people are going to vote for brisket, and people are going to vote for plant-based. So this is plant-based, and I want to get started here because it's going to take a little while. It's a simple recipe. It's one that you can throw together when you get back home from work in your work day, or come in from the ski slopes on the ski days. Not that we ski here. So I want to get started so we don't take up your whole night. So what I've got here is I'm going to put some olive oil in a cold pan. I'm going to put about a tablespoon of that and turn it on the stock pot here, because I like to do a cold pot with the cold olive oil so that everybody heats up at the same time, so that you know how you've thrown olive oil into a stock pot or a saute pan and it goes whoosh. We don't want any of that because we don't want to burn the olive oil. As we know, olive oil doesn't have a real high heat threshold. Anyway, so we're going to start there. And I want to talk a little bit about my olive oil. I don't know if you can see that or if it's coming out backwards, because that's what things sometimes do, come out backwards on the screen. It says BJ Boris Finest Olive Oil. So there's got a story behind it. So BJ stands for Be Joy, and the finest olive oil, and this comes from Israel. So almost a year ago, in February, was my 70th birthday, as you all know. And some of my pals got together, my besties got together and adopted an olive tree in Israel for me. And you go, Be Joy, you're waiting all this year to show us this? Well, this is the deal. They don't harvest the olives until the end of, I think, November, something like that, October, November, when they press them. And so I just, probably, a month ago, received 6 bottles of this olive oil. It says BJ Boris Finest Olive Oil. So I think that is pretty darn cool. It's not a really heavy, bittery olive oil. It's a really quite a nice light taste to it. So kind of the one that I really like myself. So it came out perfectly. I'm super excited about that. Okay, so the chili we're going to start off with, I diced, and a kind of a large dice, not an awfully small dice, a medium onion, and also got here one cup of grated or shredded carrots. I shredded them myself on my box grater. But if you're, coming home, you're in a hurry, you need to go boom, boom, boom to get dinner on the table, you can just buy shredded carrots, and you can actually buy diced onions as well. So, that gives you 2 quick options. And then we're going to add to that a can of chopped green chilies. I like the Hatch. Of course, my neighbor down the street, Laura, she probably wouldn't agree on the Hatch chilies. She gave me some chilies. We made tamales at her house in December, and she gave me some chilies, which I've got in the freezer. They're not mild chilies. They're the hot chilies. And she's from New Mexico, and she's like a different New Mexican chili other than Hatch. I don't know what they're called, but they're really good. But they're too hot for this dish, especially for tomorrow night, because we're going to have kids there and all that. So I'm choosing to use the Hatch chopped green chilies. So I'm going to turn around here for just a minute and see. You guys hear that? I hear it. All right, going to turn this down. Now I know that some schools think that you should heat the oil slowly, heat the onions slowly, but I got to tell you, I'm a patient woman for a lot of things, but not for this. I'm also going to put the carrots in right away, as well as the green chopped chili. And I'm going to ask you to imagine what they look like in there. I know you guys have a great imagination, because you've been following me for a while now. Okay. Got those all stirred around. My temperature is down about to on my stove about a 4, which is about medium. And we're going to let that saute, and I'm going to continue stirring for about 5 minutes. So I'll see you in 5. Well, hello. Here we are with time-lapse photography. 5 minutes or so have been gone, and I want to show you what this all looks like in here. The onions, the carrots, and the green chilies. Whoa. That's a little hard, but I think you get the idea, right? You know what those things look like all sauteed up. We're going to put that back on the stove, turn it back on to your medium heat. Got to remember that you're not in my kitchen and I need to face this way if you're going to hear what I have to say. All right, now I've got 1 clove of chopped up garlic. Again, running late. They do make, I think it's Doro, that makes chopped garlic frozen, so you can always rely on that. But honestly, it doesn't take all that much to chop up the garlic. But again, you know, you've got people running around your kitchen and you've got to get dinner on the table. You can go ahead and do that. So I just turn that around. Now the reason that I add the garlic after the onions have cooked and the vegetables, the carrots and the chilies have cooked, is because, you know, if you throw in garlic right away with the onions, and a lot of recipes will tell you to do that, or they'll tell you to put the garlic in first, the next thing you know is you don't have a nice fragrant garlic anymore. You've got burn, and nobody wants that. There are some recipes that do call for burnt garlic, but this is not one of them. So I've got that turned around. Now the next thing I'm going to add in here is going to be our Pumfu. Now Pumfu is, I've shown this to y'all before, it's a replacement, I don't know if it's a replacement, but it's an alternative to tofu. It comes in the same kind of a block, and we've got some soy sensitivity in our home, so we don't use tofu. Pumfu is made completely, these are organic pumpkin seeds. That's all it is kind of mashed up organic pumpkin seeds. And it crumbles, I'm going to show you here. I'm going to put the whole package in. It crumbles just like your tofu will crumble. So I really like using this. You can use other alternatives if you like. I know that there's companies that do the pea protein crumbles out there. There's a number of choices. I mean, there didn't used to be any. And so today we've got a lot of choices. I'm going to go ahead and put these in. Give them a good stir around. I wish you could be here because I'm going to put the spices in next and they are going to smell fantastic. So what I have here are 3 tablespoons of chili powder and 1 tablespoon of cumin. And when I first went to make this recipe, because I made it a couple weeks ago, I went, cumin, I don't know if I want that in my chili, but I have to tell you, it adds another level of actually deep spice to it. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And again, I'm just going to turn these around so that they mix together. At this point, I don't know, sometimes I'll add a little more oil, sometimes I won't. I'm going to be putting in some tomatoes, so that's going to give it a liquidy taste to it. But you just want to turn this around enough that it gets mixed in well. And then you can, oh, I wish you could be here and smell these spices. They smell brilliant. Brilliant. There we go. Really, really nice. So I just want to make a double check on this. Yeah. All right. Next come the tomatoes and the beans. So I'm going to go tomatoes. I have these, you can be diced tomatoes or crushed tomatoes. I really like these fire roasted crushed tomatoes that I get at Natural Grocers. You may not have one in your neighborhood, so I mean, you can get any kind of diced or crushed. I just like the way that these are kind of in a puree, so that they're a little bit on the thick side. Then we're going to put in 1 can of dark red kidney beans. And then we're going to put in 1 can of organic black beans. Now, you don't need to do them in cans. You can actually go ahead and cook them yourself. You just need to have, do the ratios right with the dry to the cooked. This is really nice. Uh-huh. Woo! I feel a wind coming on with this one. And I'm going to go ahead and stir that around. And my friends, you can't get any easier than this. I'm going to just let this cook. I'm just going to let this cook over here. And I'll give you a glance. It should cook for, I like about a half hour. It says anywhere from a half hour to an hour. So I'm going to go ahead with about 45 minutes. So we'll circle back here when that's done with my time-lapse photography and then show you what it looks like. And I wish I could give you a taste, but it smells great in my kitchen right now. So see you in a bit. And here we are back again with a little bit of time-lapse photography. This is what the chili looks like. I decorated it with some blue corn chips around it and some Violife cheddar, uncheddar plant shreds. Let me show you what that looks like. These guys here, I really like Violife as a brand for plant-based cheese alternatives. So there you go. Let's see if we can get a nice view of that. Whoop, there goes one of the chips, and I know who's going to eat it right now. Miss Mitzi Ray, the puppy dog. Anyway, thanks for joining me. Well, go out there this week and be joy in your own kitchen, and be sure and enjoy the yum, and like me on Facebook and YouTube if you wouldn't mind. I'd much appreciate it. Alrighty, enjoy the yum. Till next time.